Welcome to Pragati. Myself Majid Hussain. I know many of you came for the first time in this class. I welcome the old and the new students. Today is our first day of teaching. Before I start taking my physical geography, I wish I may know your name personally and your academic background. Whether you are engineer or a graduate of commerce or law graduate, or you are from medicine, or you did your MA geography. This will take about a few minutes, but I need. So, I wish I may get information about your name, your academic background, and did you appear in the PT examination. Only 3 things. Rest we will be knowing each other through your assignments and through your work. About myself, I will be teaching geography here. And in Pragati, in this coaching center, this is the only subject. And there is only one teacher. Only Majid Hussain teaches you all the 10 units of the first paper and all the 10 units of the second paper. We don't have any assistant, we don't have any supporter. So the whole course is covered only by one teacher. And the person who is speaking in front of you is Majid Hussain. Because about Majid Hussain there are many rumors in the market. Some people say he is the author, he is not teaching, he is writing books. Some say no, his assistants teach. He takes only 1 or 2 classes, never be directed by these. Some say most of the time he is in hospitals. Some say he is with his son in America. Some of them went to the extent of saying that Majid Hussain is one of our students. I know personally. It was conveyed by one of the directors who is only 40 years of age, saying that I taught Majid Hussain. My age is almost double of the age of that director. And those who are more serious about Majid Hussain, they say, "Kab ke parlok sidhar chuke hain. He is no more in this world." This is Majid Hussain. Some students, senior students are in this class. They can bear me out and they will tell you that only I am teaching. No other teacher teaches in this class. Be confident. I assure you I will be teaching. And I will be teaching the full course, both the papers. One thing which is punctuality of time. Today I was delayed because my route was diverted. I had to follow a very long route coming from that side, Nizamuddin side or Jamia Nagar side. I had to go to the Supreme Court because the direct route was diverted. Then to Connaught Place, and from that I came. So the director was also interested in having some chat with me. So I came about 10 minutes late. But I expect that you will be in time. The class begins at 8 a.m. and it will be at 8 a.m. every day. The weather may be good or bad, but the class will commence. Never ask in the morning, it is raining, should we come or should we not? There is no chance. The reply will be only one. The class will be held. The teacher will be here. Unless the teacher is indisposed. If the teacher is ill, of course. But normally, I am not ill. Mild fever I bear, but I come to the class. Sometimes I may be announcing that after 20 days I will be ill. If there is a marriage in the family, or if there is some social obligation I had to go, at least 2 weeks before I will tell you that on such and such date, please don't come, don't waste your time. This is our way. My request is, please try to adjust your schedule, come in the class at 8 a.m. Till we get, or till you get a notice. Perhaps in the month of December, after 15th of December, the classes will begin at 8:30. But for that, a notice or announcement will be made. This is way. With these few words, I request from my right hand side to the candidate, please introduce yourself and introduce only your name, your academic background, and did you appear in the prelim or the mains? Please. Psychology. Okay, please sit down. Yes, Tyagi is our old student.
My name is Anubhav Tyagi and I pursued BTech plus MBA in Infrastructure Development and I appeared in
Okay, thank you very much. Smita?
Myself Ishmi, I'm a civil engineer plus MBA infrastructure.
Civil engineer. Please, next.
I just pursuing BA first year.
Yes, she is a student of BA, but very 2-3 years before she started doing the preparation for the IAS examination. Welcome, please.
Morning sir, myself Kalika and I am a commerce graduate, BCom Honors.
Commerce.
Level of you.
Why you are not going for commerce? How you are in accountancy?
So it's fine, but I have no interest in CA first.
You are not interested in commerce.
Not interested in
CA.
specifically CA.
Okay, you want to go for administrative services.
Yes,
For you, the option was commerce was available. Commerce is not a bad option.
but I personally want to explore the world.
Okay, please sit down. Thank you very much. Yourself.
I am Ravi and
Yeah.
I have completed my Bachelor of Engineering from BIT Misra
Yeah.
in Electrical Engineering.
Ravish is one of our old students. Yes, please. Yeah.
And I'm a dentist. First time.
Okay. You appeared in the prelim last year? No. It will be your first chance. 2018. Thank you very much. Please welcome yourself.
myself Alok.
Alok. Yeah.
I've done Bachelor's of Technology from Computer Science and Engineering and thereafter I have pursued MA Economics and right now I am preparing for the CA.
You appeared in the prelims or mains?
Yes, sir.
How many times?
Present time, I mean 2015 I have read in the mains exam.
Was you able to clear the PT? And in the mains, the total was not enough? Okay, welcome. Please sit down. Yeah.
My name is Krishna. I completed my BTech Civil this year
BTech Civil from?
from Manipal University.
Okay, welcome. And you appeared in the PT last year? 2018 will be your first chance. Welcome. Please sit down.
Sir, my name is Parth Raja. I am civil engineer and I am from Gujarat.
May I know your name again?
Parth Raja.
Okay.
And
And where are you from?
I am from Gujarat.
Uttarakhand?
Gujarat.
You are from Gujarat. And you are engineer.
Yes, sir.
And you appeared in the PT or mains?
No, sir. First.
2018 will be your first chance. Welcome. Please sit down.
I am Jahangir. I have done MSc in Mathematics Education from CICBU and hoping to appear in 2018.
So, Jahangir, why you are not going for maths?
Sir, I think due to difference in syllabus,
You are already MSc.
yes, and lack of time is also.
But the same is the case with geography. Geography, you did geography only up to high school or up to 10th class, I can say that was only social studies.
Sir, when I checked the syllabus, it was overlapping with GS syllabus also.
Oh, I see, you can say, but who guided you or misguided to visit Pragati?
I checked on the website.
Oh, I see. And you are from?
I am from Delhi.
You are from a product of Delhi University? Okay, please sit down. Welcome.
Pawan Reddy. I'm a civil engineer
From?
from Jodhpur, Rajasthan.
From Jodhpur, Rajasthan. And you tried the PT last year or not? 2018 will be your first chance. Welcome, thank you. Please.
My name is Anupam. I have completed my BTech in Tool Engineering from IT University and I have appeared for PT and NEMS in 2016.
Oh, I see. Please sit down. Welcome.
Myself Prakash Sinha.
Yeah.
I'm a mechanical engineer. I have completed my mechanical engineering from BIT Sindhu Nandal
Okay.
and this will be my further education.
Why you did not opt engineering as your option?
So geography is my source of interest. That's why
अरे भाई सबका इंटरेस्ट होता है ज्योग्राफी में, बट जिसमें आपको ऑलरेडी बहुत कुछ आता है, दैट कुड हैव बीन बेटर. बेकार. वेयर यू फ्रॉम?
I'm from Rashi.
यू आर फ्रॉम रांची. वेलकम. सिट डाउन प्लीज. नेक्स्ट. या. Your MA Geography. Be careful. Sit down. Welcome, please. Next. Okay. Next, please.
So myself, Abhishek Yadav, I am an electronics and communication engineer and I have appeared in this last year.
Okay. And you appeared last year.
Yes, sir. I have
Was you able to clear the PT?
yes, sir.
And in the mains you
Secured 720 marks and 197 grade.
welcome. Please sit down. Welcome. Hopefully you will be doing this time.
I am Renu and I have done BTech from Electronics and Communications. And
Right.
how to do
And opted for geography. I wish I may guide you properly. Please sit down. Thank you. Welcome.
My name is Megha Solanki. I'm a gold medalist in IT and I have done my BE from MITS Gwalior, Manchester.
You are gold medalist in which branch of civil?
IT, information technology.
Information technology. Welcome. Thank you very much. Please.
Myself, David Kumar, I am a mechanical.
Yeah.
BTech
From?
from Pushpa University.
Okay. And 2018 will be your first chance?
2017, my first.
Was you able to clear the first hurdle, PT?
First.
In the mains, oh. And geography was your optional or?
Yeah,
Where did you get the coaching from?
last time I have GS for Sri Lanka.
GS from Shriram. And geography?
Geography I am
Self-study. Okay, please sit down. Welcome. Next.
My name is Ravi Vasan. I am BTech in mechanical engineering and I attempted 2017 PT but I
Was not able to. Okay, hopefully you will be through. Please.
My name is Mukhiran Sahu. I'm an electrical engineer 2014 batch.
2018 will be your second chance. Where do you feel yourself as you are relatively weak? In ecology, environment, geography, or some other area?
I'm reading this time this local for first time.
I see. Oh, please sit down. Welcome. Geography honors from Delhi University? Last time, yes, you are doing from Bihar. Okay, welcome, please.
Myself, Gaurav Kumar, and I pursued my BSc in physics from Ram's College. And in 2018, this will be my
You are not appearing in 2018.
so I am
When you will be a graduate? This year?
yes sir.
So, why don't you go for 2018? You feel that you will not be able to do it? Okay, welcome. We can discuss this one.
Myself, Sagar.
Yeah.
I'm a commerce graduate and I have appeared in the 2015 present.
Yeah. Please sit down. Next. Welcome.
Himanshu Pawar, I did bachelor's in architecture from NIT Jaipur.
Yeah.
Would be my second attempt.
Okay. Please, yourself.
Upendra Pathania, bachelor's in engineering.
So, your oceanography and climatology was not over? You joined late. Okay, welcome. Sit down, please.
Myself, Mahendra Lodhe. I have completed my electrical engineering
Yeah.
and this is my second attempt.
Okay, next. These are our old students. Yeah. Sit down, please.
After myself, Anshul Jadhav, I have done BTech from IMT Faridabad and 2018 will be my second year.
You appeared in 2017 also? In PT, you are not able to clear? Hardly matter. Please sit down. Welcome.
Welcome to the Vilas Tower. I am architect and today I did a Master of Environment Planning from
Okay, please sit down. Next.
My name is Vamsi Krishna. I'm from UP. I completed my BTech IT and 2018 will be my second year.
Okay, welcome. Please sit down. Next.
I completed mechanical
Engineering. Mechanical, yes.
This is my third year.
Oh, okay. Please sit down. Welcome. Next.
Myself, Pravesh. I have done my BTech mechanical physics from Jaipur. Last year I appeared in Delhi.
Last year you appeared in the PT and you was not able to clear the PT. I wish you all the best. Please, next.
Myself, Manisha Saini. I have done my BTech in computer science and it's also good.
Okay, welcome. Please sit down.
Good morning, ma'am. Myself, Ubam Majumdar. I'm from Assam. Masters in Life Sciences, specializing in molecular neurobiology.
Okay, welcome. Please sit down. Next.
My name is Ram. I have completed my BTech from electronics and information engineering
Please, next. Morning. Welcome. Sit down, please.
Sir, I am Vikas. I have done BTech in Mechanical Engineering.
From?
Then,
Mechanical from
Sir, Kurukshetra University.
Kurukshetra. That's a regional engineering college.
It's a state university, sir.
Okay, okay. Please sit down. Next.
Morning, sir. My name
Morning.
is Vikram Mohammed. I am from Assam. I did my engineering in Petroleum.
Okay. Sit down, please. Next.
My name is Ayush Bhattnagar. I did my BTech in 2015 from Delhi College of Engineering in Mechanical and Automotive Engineering. And I have been appeared in the
Okay, welcome. Please. Next.
My name is Rajaranjan. I have done my bachelor in Information and Technology. I have appeared in 2017 prelims.
Okay, thank you. Welcome. Next.
Prasoon Singh from Rika, Madhya Pradesh. I did my graduation from Oriental Institute of Science and Technology in Indore. And 2018 will be my second attempt. And first attempt, I was lacking in the area of geography and ecology.
I see.
Some other things.
Hopefully it will be strong this time. Sit down. Next. I see. Sit down. Next.
My name is Sunil Singh. I have done BTech in Textile Engineering and graded appearance.
Textile from
Government Center Textile from
Kanpur. Sit down, please. Next. Yes, please. Next. There is a seat here. You may come in. Please. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Next. Let me finish this row first. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome. Next. Okay. Thank you. Next. Okay. Thank you very much. Next. Morning. Degree engineering from Jamia. But Jamia is providing coaching and guidance for the IAS system. You are staying there in the campus? I see. But why do you come such a long distance? Jamia has a very good geography department. There are many professors there. Okay, welcome. Sit down, please. Next. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Please sit down. Anybody? I think somebody from the, yeah. Introduce yourself.
My name is Jitendra. I have done Masters in Physics and 18 will be my first attempt.
MSc in physics, and physics is not a bad optional.
No, but after services I will be better able to deliver.
I see. You are MSc from which university in physics? IIT Delhi. Very prestigious. Yes. Sit down. Welcome. Next. Yeah. BA Geography from? I see. Next, please.
My name is Kush Goswami and I am a mechanical engineer from Pantanagar University.
I see.
I wrote mains previous year.
Last year?
Yes.
How many marks you got in geography?
210.
Oh, it is on the lower side. Last year, many students secured more than 300 marks. Hopefully, this time you will do better. Please sit down. Welcome.
I am Soumya Ghosh. I am a geography graduate from Bardhaman University.
Vardhaman. I know you. You are from Vardhaman University. So, thank you very much for introducing yourself. And onwards, we'll be having more interaction with each other. Now, you know, geography consists of two papers. Each paper carrying 250 marks. So, the first paper is Principles of Geography. And this consists of two units. Part A, Physical Geography. This physical geography again has 5 units. Geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, biogeography, and environmental geography. These 5 units constitute your course of physical geography. But the question is, what is physical geography? Actually, in geography, we describe and explain what is on the surface of the earth. Whatever you see on the surface of the earth, their description and explanation is geography. And if you observe keenly, there are 2 types of things which are on the earth's surface. Some are created by Brahma. We never use the word like God, Brahma or Allah in geography. We use a word nature. Nature or natural forces. On the earth's surface, anything created by the natural forces is the subject matter of physical geography. And these natural forces are endogenetic forces and exogenetic forces. The endogenetic forces they create. If there is a volcanic eruption, a cone is framed. If there is movement of plates, some folded mountains appear. If there is earthquake, there may be some fractures. So the endogenetic forces are known as the creative force. From the human point of view, they may be destructive. If there is an earthquake, many people may die. But in nature, man is not important. ये तो हमारी दादागिरी है कि हम सुप्रीम बने बैठे हैं. बंदर को अदरक मिला, चौधरी बने बैठे हुए हैं. In nature, there is nothing like man, animal, plants, and so to make it simple, anything created by the physical forces is the subject matter of physical geography. And these 5 units are in this course. I will cover all these topics. But the weightage will be about 125 marks will be coming from this area. Then in the same paper 1, this is your paper 1, there is human geography. In human geography, we describe and explain what has been created by man. Man is also a creator. God is a creator, nature is a creator, but man is also a creator. Anything created by man on the earth's surface, that is human geography. Man has created fields, agriculture. Nature provided land, but the fields were developed by man. He started agriculture, so this is a subject matter of human geography. Over the period of time, he developed some industries. Industrial geography is a subject matter of human geography. Transports, communication, all this. Not only this, types and patterns of rural settlements. We have rural settlement, urban settlement. That is also a subject matter of human geography. So anything which has been created on the earth's surface by man is the subject matter of human geography. And in this part of your first paper, again there are 5 units. This is a part B of the first paper. The first topic is perspectives unit. perspectives in human geography. This is actually slightly complex word, but in MA geography, all the students, they know it as geographical thought. And geographical thought carries 100 marks in master's MA program. Next is, in this, the next unit is economic geography of the world. Economic geography is also a 100 marks paper in MA. That is only a unit in your course. The next unit is settlement, both rural, urban and population geography. The next, number 9, is regional planning. In JNU it carries more than 100 marks in MA. In Delhi University also there is enough weightage on regional planning. But here it is only one unit. And the last unit or the 10th unit is models, theories and laws. In human geography. These 5 units also carry 125 marks. So our intention is, and our motto should be, to secure better marks in geography. Because it is not the question of percentage or division in competition. Your rank is important. And high rank will be the rank of the students who get secure better marks. Because now, when topper is getting 54%, 52% in MA geography, nobody gets less than 60%. But the topper of IAS may be at the most 54% these days. And geography is giving more than 55%. Some students are securing 60%. Some are securing up to 65%. So that way geography is not a bad optional. And one student just told that it helps in the PT, it helps in the compulsory papers also. In the first paper about history and geography plus environment, ecology and disaster management, it has enough significance from the competition point of view. Therefore, I welcome to those who are not with geography background, and you have heard that most of you are engineers. For all the engineers, including all the students with commerce background or any other background like physics, geography will not be a difficult subject. But we have to master all these 10 units. And 10 units are the 10 papers of MA. What is taught in 2 years in a master's program is the first paper of the UPSC. The syllabus is very exhaustive, very detailed. But we are here not to become a professor of geography. Our intention is to secure good marks. For that purpose, your basics should be clear. Your funda should be clear. Because now the pattern of the paper is normally 18 questions are to be attempted in 180 minutes. 18. In MA, all the universities ask MA geography to attempt 4 questions in 3 hours. Here the number is very large. 18 questions in 180 minutes. So reading too much may be dangerous. If you are having so much knowledge about a particular topic, you may not be able to reproduce the knowledge in the examination. Moreover, the examiner is putting a restriction. Don't write more than 10 words, 150 words. Tropical temperate cyclone last year was a question. I teach minimum 2-3 hours these two topics. But there it was only 10 marks. Gagar mein sagar ko samona hai. That skill you have to develop, and I will help you in that way. So, for getting good marks, we should cover all the first 5 units and the last 5 units also. We should be good in both areas. If you are very good in physical geography but weak in human geography, again the total may be less. Because the pattern of the paper is, you can go for 3 questions from this area and 2 again you have to do from this area. The total will be 5. If you say, I will attempt 3 from physical geography and 2 from this, and this area is weak, then the total may not be at par to a student who has covered all the 10 units and who has the concepts clear. One student came and met me that our teacher told, if it is radicalism or humanism or behaviorism, write something, you will get marks. This is not a master's answer book. Your answer books are read. My senior students know it very well. All the examiners, they read your answer book. And they read not by page, they read line by line, word by word. Even they are careful about the spellings, the use of capital letters. If this is the level of actually evaluation, we have to be very careful. We should not actually mix up radicalism with humanism or humanism with behavioralism. Because by writing a wrong answer, a candidate may get a 0 and they give 0. You devoted 10 minutes or 15 minutes for securing a 0. 0 can be scored without writing. So what is the use of writing irrelevant answer? That is avoided. I was listening one YouTube, but the teacher was saying, write something on everything. You may not be knowing, but write something. It is okay in the BA or MA, geography or BA or MA, because in BA, MA normally people don't read the answer books. If you ask me that I am supposed to evaluate the MA answer books, MA geography, my intention will be to evaluate minimum 100 answer books a day. 100 answer books, because the rate is 15 rupees, I should get at least 1500 rupees. In the end, after doing 6-7 hours, I should do एक दिहाड़ी जो है 1500 की तो होनी चाहिए. Otherwise, what the wife will say? So, by reading you cannot do 100 answer books a day. It is possible only if you give marks and never read. The pattern is we adopt a general liberal attitude. Anybody deserving 40%, we give 50%. Anybody who is in the range of 50, we give 60%. And the 60% we give 70-75%. Exceptional answer books may get 80-85%. क्योंकि मेरे बाप का क्या जाता है, मुझे तो नंबर देने हैं. I want to finish. And the professors are getting answer books from several universities. Remember, they are senior citizens. सठियाए हुए लोग हैं, हाथ पैर चलते नहीं, काफी 100 रोजाना जांचनी है. So the teacher cannot do justice. But in the UPSC examination, the professor is given only 10 answer books a day. In the UPSC Dhalpur house, only 10 answer books. 6 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon. During my days, this was the pattern. The pattern might have changed because now I am not associated with the confidential work. I am teaching. But they give limited number of answer sheet or answer books to each professor. For the first paper, there may be 25 examiners. Each examining 10 answer books. It means in one day, 250 answer books. What these professors will be doing? They will be reading. Gossiping is not possible, only at the tea time, because the secretary is sitting nearby. Secretary is also there. And the professors are not supposed to waste the time of their and the time of their colleagues. So it is a serious business. Securing marks is a big problem in the UPSC. Because the UPSC conduct the examination to fail. They conduct the examination to fail the candidates. In universities, the university conduct the examination to pass. निकले यहाँ से बाहर जाए. हॉस्टल खाली होगा, क्लास में न्यूसेंस है, इसको निकालो यहाँ से. कब तक इसमें रहे? So the approach is totally different. When the UPSC conduct the examination to fail the candidates, they know there is enough option. In that case, you have to snatch the marks from the examiner. If you are writing sensible, you will get marks. Often I say they are butchers. Examiners become butcher in the Dholpur house. कसाई बन जाते हैं. लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है. They give good marks also. If you are writing a relevant answer and you are completing the paper in the given time, plus in the case of geography, you document your answers with label diagrams, with suitable diagrams. This is the pattern which is. So I will be completing all this course because both the parts, physical and human, should be strong. In the second paper, we have Geography of India, and often we feel that we are, हम इसी धरती के लाल हैं, so we can do very well in Geography of India. This is not the case. Invariably, students are securing better marks in the first paper and relatively less marks in the second paper. But you can do equally good in the second paper also if you follow the guidance of the teacher. Because basically I am a teacher of geography and throughout I know only geography, nothing more than this. In the second paper, you can do better. There are 10 units in the second paper also. You can secure very good marks in the second paper also. And very good, in my opinion, 150. Though last year, one boy who became IS from this center, he got 164 in the second paper. Very good. 164 out of 250 is not a bad, it is a very good score. Our motto should be to secure 150 in the first paper and 150 in the second paper, with a plus minus margin of 5 marks. 300 should be our actually target. We have to hit 300 and students are getting 300 marks in geography. 2-3 years were difficult years, but again geography has become popular. That should be. You can get good marks in the second paper if you are good in the math question. We अंदर की बात है. All my students know that math can give you 22, 23 out of 25. That is a solid question. So always you should go for doing an exercise of math question. Math question needs regular practice. It cannot be mastered in short period of time. And therefore, I start with this math question today. Before I go for the physical geography, you have to note down some entries. And from the office or from this small office, you obtain one outline map of India. The outline map of India is of the same size, same pattern which is provided in the UPSC examination. We obtained from some source one map which is of the same size given to the candidates who appear in the main examination of geography. So please start. I will give you about 4. Every day you will be getting one exercise. The first few minutes will be devoted to it. And I start with the mountains and peaks of India. And these are to be located by you at your residence and have to submit tomorrow. It is a serious business. Don't take coaching seriously. If you are having a Panchvarshiya Yojana, then it is a different matter. Please join some other coaching center. It is only 1 year course. You will be IAS, at least through geography in 1 year. You will be confident to secure very good marks, provided you do the work regularly. I will be assigning you some map exercise every day. And next day you are supposed to submit in the office. Third day you will get the feedback because I check each location, each entry, and then you improve by that. This is a question which hardly needs any much intelligence. It is a mechanical work to locate, and by practice you will become a master. Remember, the map question is not asked in MA Geography, not even in BA Geography. Only in high school some entries are asked on the map of India. So in this way, a MA Geography and engineer are at par. One who will be doing work, he will be getting better marks. So please note down some entries. Mountains and peaks of India. Karakoram. Range. Number 2. Zanskar range. It is also written as Zanskar. Next. Greater Himalayas. Lesser Himalayas. In Kashmir division, they are known as Pir Panjal. In Himachal Pradesh, they are known as Dhauladhar. Both are the continuation of the Lesser Himalayas. Lesser Himalaya will not be asked. The paper setter may ask you Dhauladhar or Pir Panjal range. Next. Shivaliks. They are also known as Outer Himalayas. Never get confused. Shivalik's second name is Outer. It is in the southernmost side of these parallel ranges. Next, note down Aravalli Mountains. Aravalis. Next, Vindhyan Mountains. Vindhyan Mountains. Next, Satpura. Satpura. Next, Eastern Ghats. Western Ghats. Then Kaimur range. Kaimur range. Nilgiri. Nilgiri, Arakan Yoma. Yoma means mountain. It is along the border of India and Myanmar. Next, Amarkantak. Amarkantak. Then there are some ranges in northeast India or in the hilly states of northeast India. They are from west to east. Dafla range, D-A-F-L-A, Dafla range. To the east of this, in Arunachal Pradesh, is Miri Hills, M-I-R-I, Miri Hills. Further east is Abor Hills, A-B-O-R, A-B-O-R. O-R, Abor Hills. In the easternmost corner is Mishmi Hills, M-I-S-H-M-I, Mishmi Hills. Next, Garo Hills. Khasi Hills. And Jaintia Hills. This is Meghalaya, Garo, Khasi and Jaintia from west to east. Next, Bareil Range, B-A-R-A-I-L, Bareil Range. Patkai Bum. Saramati Peak. It is the highest peak in Nagaland, located in the northeastern part of Nagaland. And next, Blue Mountain. Blue Mountain. Remember, Blue Mountain is not Nilgiri. This entry was asked in 2004 or 2003. If you see the paper, Blue Mountain was asked. In Hindi also it was Blue Mountain. Some student translated it and made it Nilgiri. Blue Mountain is the highest peak of Mizoram. It has nothing to do with Nilgiri. Blue Mountain is the highest peak of Mizoram. And the last entry for today's exercise is Kailash Mountain. The senior students know the location, but where is Kailash Mountain? Don't get confused with Kailash. There is a spelling difference. Kailash is not Kailash. Kailash is to the north of Mansarovar Lake, a very important religious, cultural mountain of India, of Tibet. Our pilgrims go to Kailash, not to Kailash. Where is the location of Kailash? Ravish?
It is just west to Sri Punjab then.
Any other senior student? I am not asking those who came for the first time. Ravish is our old student and a good student, I know. Tyagi, any idea about Kailash? Ishmita? No. Anybody who can give me the location? Give me the location. Pardon? It is in Garo Hills. See the atlas after going back. What is the capital of Garo? Tura? Tura is the headquarters of Garo Hills. And Shillong is the capital of Meghalaya. Shillong is in Khasi Hills, in the central part. Jaintia capital or headquarters is Javai. So in the atlas after going back, locate this Kailash. It is south of Tura. It is the highest peak in that area. So this is your first exercise, you have to locate them. For a mountain range like Karakoram range, Zanskar range, or the greater Himalayas, lesser Himalayas, I will give you the symbol. For the ranges, adopt a thick line, not very thick. To make it simple, if you are showing Dhauladhar, Make a line and put down the name here. Itself. This is Dhaulaga. This is one symbol, a thick line. This thick line may be with pencil or with ink, whatsoever you like. In case you are interested in colors, brown color. Or you can show a range like this. It may consume more time. The second symbol is this pattern. The third symbol for the mountain ranges is hachures. These are known as hachures. Hachures are the broken lines. In some books you will find this type of pattern. When they are more dense, it means there is more elevation. When they are sparse, it means they are not very high. But in the examination, time is always a problem. That's why I advise, for a mountain range, draw a thick line and put down the name there. There's no need of be very artistic or to decorate the map. It will give you 1 mark. So why to waste more time? Even seconds are important in the UPSC examination. Try to do the work in the minimum time. Because we have to attempt minimum 18 questions in 180 minutes. For the peaks, there are some peaks also. Solid triangle for a peak. This triangle. Remember, it should not be very big. In the atlas, you try to locate. In the physical map of India, there are many peaks, but their size is small. If you are making a very big triangle, solid, it means you are covering more area. That shows you are not very sure about the location. You are covering more area, means कहीं तो होगी इस area में, कुछ तो मिलेगा. Don't go for a bigger size of triangle. You know it, and you will be knowing each peak. Last year Guru Shikhar was asked, so it was very easy because we did almost all the peaks, all the mountains. That will not be a problem. The problem will be with those students who are taking my suggestions lightly. I want to train you in geography in such a way that you become minimum at par to the toppers of geography. And toppers of geography means we should secure 60% marks in geography. 150 plus 150, that is possible. But regular work is required. If anybody is scared of geography, please take your money and go back. We are actually, all these centers are business centers, honestly speaking. Everybody wants to earn money. Once they will be saying, many of them are saying, pass nahi to paisa nahi. Be careful from such people. Nobody can guarantee that you will be IAS. The only guarantee is that we will teach you in such a way that you will be good in our subject. But geography is not the only subject. That is only one optional. One optional means 500 marks. Maybe helping in your GS compulsory papers also. But I can assure you will be very good in geography. No guarantee will be IAS. अगर कोई कहता है कि पास नहीं तो पैसा नहीं, समझिए धोखा दे रहा है. कुछ पढ़ाएगा, कुछ छुड़वाएगा. एक बार आप फंस जाएं, फिर आपको निकलना मुश्किल होता है. I say it is only 1 year program. And if you have some idea कि कुछ इस साल तैयार करेंगे, कुछ अगले साल करेंगे, कुछ 3rd year में करेंगे, 4th year में करेंगे, तो वो उनके सारे ही चांस वेस्ट हो जाते हैं. वो कभी नहीं हो पाते. If you are serious, this is 1 year program because, why I am saying it? You know the syllabus. And the answers are not asked very lengthy answers. If your basics about the topics are clear, one page like this, you will be surely IS. But if you are preparing 10 pages notes for a topic of 20 marks, perhaps you will not be able to attempt the full paper in the examination that is required. Because we are here to become IS, not a research scholar of geography. Don't want to become a lecturer or a reader or a professor in geography. Our motto is to become IS. If somebody is having the idea to become a lecturer or reader, he will be benefited from this class also. But we have to focus. Please remember this point, and I will be reminding you again and again, do the work regularly. Because it is the regular work which helps. Very intelligent students or candidates may not be able to cross these 3 hurdles. Average students. And most of you are with engineering backgrounds, so you are above the average. वरना तो आपको तो हिस्ट्री या कुछ और सब्जेक्ट पढ़ना था. Those who go for engineering, they are definitely superior students. So superior students should prepare 1 year program. I have to clear the PT, the mains and the facility in 1 year. And hopefully you will be doing it. So if there is any apprehension in the mind of anybody that geography is a difficult subject, geography may consume more time, so they can trust the teacher. Geography, the syllabus may be lengthy, but it is not a difficult. Because the teacher is also committed. He knows if you are getting less marks, the teacher will be failing. It means I secured less marks. My involvement with my students is very deep. Anyhow, the decision is yours. Some of you still may be thinking whether to go for geography or not to go for geography. This is your decision, I cannot impose. But one thing I can assure, that we will try to train you in such a way that the examiner will feel that he is MA in geography. Not MA in geography, he is one of the toppers of geography. This is our purpose. Anyhow, I have done this exercise. Please obtain one outline map of India from the office when you go back, and get about 20-30 multiple copies of this, because they provide only one map. That is your expenditure. You may be spending a few rupees more to have the multiple copies, because this exercise will be a regular feature. And here again in this map I can give one clue, that the Greater Himalaya will not be asked, Karakoram will not be asked. They will not be asking you Shivalik mountain or Vindhyan mountain or Satpura mountain or Eastern Ghat or Western Ghats. They may go some either peaks or small hills. This is also important. But to master the topic, we have to go for the bigger ranges also. It will help you in your second paper. It will help you otherwise also. This was about the map exercise. Every day you will be getting it, and every day I expect you will be submitting the assignment, because our training begins from today. Every day I will be discussing some objective type of questions, though that is not my responsibility. We teach only optional. But every day 4 or 5 original questions I will be sharing with you, discussing with you, to see your ecology environment a bit sound. That will help you in your PT examination. Geography, ecology, environment and disaster management is strong. I think about 25 questions are coming from that area. Then you become more confident. My intention to take 10-15 minutes in that area is mainly to see that you clear your PT examination. If you don't clear the PT examination, all your efforts and my efforts will go as a waste. This will be a wastage of time. So, though we never say we are training you in the PT examination, but at least the geography and ecology question should be correct of the students who are with me. That's why every day I will be doing 4 or 5 original questions, not from some book, but from my own experience. I will be setting questions, we will be discussing, and then I will start geography. Now, in physical geography, the first unit is geomorphology, second is climatology, and the third is oceanography. Our cycle is slightly different. Last time we started from oceanography, and some students joined me late. Their oceanography and climatology I have to cover first, so that they may vacate the seats from this room. This is also economic factor. So secondly, oceanography is a very easy area, and invariably 20 or 30 marks are coming from that area. Very easy, and you can attempt those questions of oceanography easily. So I start not from geomorphology. Actually physical geography will be taught to you to solve the problem of some senior boys from oceanography, because oceanography was not covered with them. Then I will pass on to climatology, and from climatology I will pass on to geomorphology. This is actually the cycle. In physical geography, the 3 units are most important. Though we say everything is important which is given in the syllabus. The paper setter may ask anything. Therefore, we should know something about every topic and everything about some important topics. This is the approach. We must know something about every topic given in the syllabus and thorough knowledge of selected topics. It should be the pattern of your study or your preparation. And preparation is not done by reading the books. This is not a novel that I am enjoying the novel. You have to read whatsoever you read. Therefore, preparation for the UPSC examination, at least from my point of view, is to be in the form of written answers. If there is a topic, you must write. I think salinity was asked in the yesterday's paper. Very easy topic. One change I found, I saw the paper only this morning. Last night I returned from Srinagar. In the morning I saw the paper. They have reduced the weightage of geography. There are only 8 questions now out of 20. 12 questions from history and society. Earlier it used to be 10 and 10. This change I found. Cryosphere they asked, salinity of the ocean they asked. The geography questions were very easy for our students. I mean, the students who are geography optional, for them the 8 questions at least were not difficult. History I can't say because I am not a man of history. I don't know what is history. But is the nature of the questions of the first 12, you go through and that. So please start with oceanography, and the oceanography I start now. Some students ask me to suggest you the books to be purchased. So NCERT I recommended, please go for the NCERT, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. That is required. Though the paper will be above the standard, but salinity topic is given there also. That is easy, and only 150 words are to be written. With one map you can do it very well. Our students can write several pages on salinity of the oceans, but anyhow the requirement was only 150. So please purchase one Oxford Atlas. That should be at your table. Secondly, you must have unsolved papers of the last 10-15 years. That is also. Try to read these papers repeatedly. What type of questions are being asked by the paper setters of geography? Thirdly, purchase Savinder Singh, Physical Geography. Though at places it is very lengthy. He has written a full book on oceanography also. It is a bulky book. That much is not required. But if you could manage, read a book which is known as Oceanography Oceanography by T. Garrison. It is known as the Bible of oceanography. It is not a bulky book. It is in full size and I think 200 pages. It is most reliable, authentic book on oceanography. And all chapters are not required to be read. He devoted one full chapter on the types or species of fish. That is not our area. But so far as the horizontal and vertical distribution of temperature is concerned, so far as the ocean currents are concerned, so far as the submarine topography or topography below the ocean is concerned, these topics are given in a very systematic way. Coral formations and types of coral reef, they are very interesting. This book, I think, is not available in the market now, but available in the JNU, Ratan Tata Library of Delhi University, and it is available, I think, in Jamia also. But the problem with the book is, the good pages have been removed by the students. The trash is left. The students, they are very intelligent. They remove the relevant chapters. चूंकि ब्लेड से काटते हैं आवाज होती नहीं, ऐसा काटते हैं पता भी नहीं चलता, पेज ले जाते हैं. बुक जो है वो रखी हुई है. एंड आई विश यू मे चेक दिस बुक फ्रॉम योर लाइब्रेरी. टी गैरिसन इट इज वे. और मैं देखे मेरी बात सही है या नहीं है, वो जो टॉपिक्स हैं वो सारे उन्होंने काट लिए हैं. कौन उठाए इसको, जीरोक्स कराए, अपना लेके चलते हैं. किताब अवेलेबल नहीं मार्केट में. गो टू एनी बुक सेलर, दे विल नॉट बी एबल टू प्रोवाइड यू. 2005 वाज द लास्ट एडिशन. आफ्टर दैट दिस बुक इज नॉट. मेरी पर्सनल किताब भी किसी मेरे वेल विशर स्टूडेंट ने ली और लेके घर ही रख लिया. क्या वापस करनी है, मेरे पास भी नहीं है. फॉर्चुनेटली आई हैव द नोट्स फ्रॉम दैट बुक. सो जिनको चाहिए सेटिस्फेक्शन के लिए सविंदर सिंह खरीदे. लेकिन ये याद रखिए कि सविंदर सिंह जब लिखते हैं, अगर जियोसिंक्लाइन लिखा है तो 15 डेफिनेशन जियोसिंक्लाइन की दी है. उस पर 15 पेज लिखे हैं जियोसिंक्लाइन पर, आपको 150 वर्ड्स लिखने होंगे. ये ध्यान रख करके उसके नोट्स आप बनाइएगा कि भाई जियोसिंक्लाइन एट द मोस्ट मे बी ए शॉर्ट नोट. इट कैन नॉट बी ए 20 मार्क्स क्वेश्चन. उसको पढ़िए, देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन इन दैट बुक. लेकिन ये ध्यान रखिए कि हमको छोटे छोटे आंसर उसमें से बनाने हैं और उसको बनाने में आपका टाइम काफ़ी लगेगा. बेहतर ये है कि मेरा क्लास रेगुलरली अटेंड कीजिए, क्योंकि मेरा लेक्चर होता है बहुत सारी किताबों पर बेस होता है. मैं सारे सोर्सेज खंगाल रखे हैं, प्लस मेरा बुढ़ापे तक का एक्सपीरियंस साथ जुड़ा हुआ है. कॉन्फिडेंशियल वर्क मैं करता रहा हूँ, वो भी पता है कि क्या लिखना चाहिए. इसलिए फॉर यू इन प्रगति प्रेजेंस इन द क्लास इज रिक्वायर्ड. And once the format is ready, then you can be very confident about geography. You are optional, and plus wherever it will be coming in the GS paper 1 or paper 3. So some facts I will give you, but these facts will not be asked in the examination. We need this information. That is just, you can say, general knowledge. By the way, how many oceans are there? A 6th standard question. कितने ओशंस हैं? 5th you are saying Antarctic Ocean. Where is the limit of the Antarctic Ocean? If somebody asks you, please define the limit or boundary of the Antarctic Ocean, where is the boundary of the Antarctic Ocean? Pardon? Ravish, तुम बताओ.
There are 4 oceans.
They continue up to Antarctica?
Yes, sir. If you count Atlantic Ocean, they continue to Antarctica, and if you count Indian Ocean, it is also continuing to Antarctica.
Pacific Ocean is also same. But many of the students are saying there are 5 oceans. Those who are saying 5 oceans, where is the limit of the 5th ocean, Antarctic Ocean? There are 4 oceans or 5 oceans? Ravish, I don't agree with you. There are 5 oceans. They continued. In 1962, the International Geographical Union, they decided there will be a 5th ocean also, and that is Antarctica. Before this year, there were only 4 oceans. But they resolved in 1962. There is a 5th ocean also, that is Antarctic Ocean, and the boundary was determined or demarcated 60° south latitude. 60° south latitude is the limit of the Antarctic Ocean. This is general knowledge. It will not be asked in the examination. But there are 5 oceans, not 4 now. Before 1962, there were 4 oceans. Now there are 5. Now note down a few points. They are just basic facts about the oceans. Number 1, 71% of the total surface area of the earth is covered with oceans. Next, 29% is land or continents. Next point, 97% of the water of hydrosphere is in the oceans. Next point, average elevation of the continents. Average elevation of the continents. (875 meters). If you level the continents by some device, Mount Everest is reduced to the low-lying areas. The average height of the continents will be this much, 875 meters, because there are many low-lying areas. By the way, which place of the world is below the sea level or lowest level? Pardon? No, to the north of Caspian Sea is the lowest area of the continents. It is below the sea level, much below the sea level. Next point, this is general knowledge, will not be. Average elevation of the Earth's surface. Average elevation of the Earth's surface. If you push all the continents into the ocean by some device, or imagine that continents have been pushed into the oceans, the average depth of the earth will be minus 2070 meters. It is in minus. It means there will be 2 kilometers of water covering the whole earth, because the oceans are much deeper. This is minus 2070 meters will be the surface. It means the whole earth will be under water to the extent of 2 kilometers. Next, average depth of the oceans. Average depth of the oceans. Sorry. The average depth of the oceans is minus 3,800 or 3.8 kilometer. If you level the ocean's bottoms, the average depth of the oceans will be 3.8 kilometer, because there are many deep ocean trenches. Next point, the highest peak is Mount Everest. This is 44 or 22? 48, sorry. This is the highest peak. This will not be coming in your examination. The first topic of oceanography which is prescribed in the course is the bottom relief. Bottom relief of the oceans. Actually, oceanography is a new area in geography. Before the First World War, much was not known what is under the water. The general impression was that the ocean bottom is like this. This was the general idea. But when some new scientific techniques were developed and instruments were or technology came, and the technology of radio sounding, they started determining the depth and found that the bottom of the ocean is not like this. There are elevations and depressions. You find elevations and depressions on land. Same is the topography of the under the water also. If you by some way evaporate the whole water of the oceans, which is not possible, then you will find mountains, peaks, ranges, depressions, or gorges in the oceans also. This is. But a short topic or a short question may be asked on the general model of ocean relief. It may be a 10 marks question in your compulsory question, the general model of ocean relief. The experts of oceanography, note down these points. The experts of oceanography divide the ocean relief into the following main features. Number 1, continental shelf. Number 2, continental slope. Abyssal plains. Oceanic trenches. Oceanic ridges. Islands and guyot. If there is a question on the general bottom relief of the ocean, we have to write something about these in a sequential order. But since only 150 words are to be written, we have to be very precise. In the books, 10-12 pages are written. But we have to reduce it to 120 words with a diagram. This is the point. I will show you a diagram. What is this continental? If you take as the continent and the sea begins here, or ocean. This first portion is known as continental shelf. I will give you some points, please wait. This is continental slope. Abyssal plain and ocean trench. The first four have been shown on this diagram. Now what should be written one by one? A few sentences on continental shelf, a few sentences on continental slope, a few sentences on the abyssal plain and ocean trench. This will be your answer. किताबों में बहुत लिखा हुआ है इस पर, चूंकि उनको एग्जाम तो देना नहीं, किताब के पेजेस बढ़ाने हैं, मोटी किताब होगी प्राइस ज्यादा होगी, उनको इनकम ज्यादा होगी. But we have to keep the time frame in mind. If this question is coming, it will be a 10 marks question. For 10 marks question, we should try to write about 120-125 words. Though the examiner will be asking you to write 150 words. Never write 150. That will consume more time. Write about 120 words plus one diagram. Diagram you can do in 1 minute. Will be saving your time. So what is continental shelf? Please note down the points. Continental shelf. The submerged portion of the continents adjacent to the land is known as continental shelf. Is known as continental shelf. The average depth of the continental shelf is 100 fathom. In case you forget this word fathom, because it is used in oceanography, 1 fathom is equal to 6 yards. The ratio is 1 fathom is equal to 6 yards. So this is, but it is not universal. There are exceptions also. They have calculated the average, the 100 fathom average depth, and it is found in all the oceans. Next sentence. It is found in all the continental shelf is found in all the oceans. But the width of continental shelf is more in the Atlantic Ocean as compared to the Pacific Ocean. Actually, why it is so that the continental shelf is more wide in Atlantic Ocean as compared to Pacific Ocean, I will explain you this point when I will be dealing with the plate tectonics. In the Atlantic Ocean, there is divergence of plates. In Pacific Ocean, there is submergence of plates. Here, there is no need of going into the details. Next sentence. The widest continental shelf, the widest continental shelf is in which ocean? Pardon? No. Yes, it is in the Arctic Ocean. The widest continental shelf is in the Arctic Ocean. and the width is 1280. See here, this light color shows you the continental shelf. Light color means less depth, that is continental shelf. So the widest continental shelf, which is 1280 kilometers, not meters, sorry, is in the Arctic Ocean. These are some basic information to be given in the examination. Next slide. The continental shelf have great economic values. They are well known for the petroleum deposits and natural gas deposits. About 20% of the total petroleum product, about 20% of the total petroleum product and 18% of natural gas is obtained from the continental shelf. Next, they are also known for fishing grounds. Fishing grounds and aquaculture. They cover 7.6%. They cover 7.6% of the total oceanic area. Oceanic area. Now, if you see in the book, you can read, there are paragraphs and paragraphs. But if a question is asked as a short note to describe what is the under ocean topography, you have to write these salient points about the continental shelf. And you read it, you will know it very easily, will not be a problem for you. After writing these lines on continental shelf, pass on to continental slope, number 2. Continental slope. The continental slope is also a part of the continent. Submerged underwater. Submerged underwater after the melting of ice. Of the Pleistocene period. Actually, there was a time when ice sheets were covering the greater part of the continents. Then a warm phase came, the ice melted, the sea level went up. So the experts of oceanography, they say that both the continental shelf and the continental slope are the parts of the continents. Why they say? Because they are made up of sial. Silicates, lighter rocks. So they got submerged because the ice melted. When the ice melts, the sea level goes up. So up to this point is the submerged portion of the continents. If in GS or somewhere somebody asks you, where is the beginning of the ocean? Where the ocean begins? The ocean begins from here. Here the rocks are of different type. Abyssal plain, the rocks are not of silicates. They are of SiMa, Si plus Ma. So the ocean begins from here. हम तो जहाँ डूब सकता हो किनारे पे वहीं से सोचने लगते हैं कि ये ओशन है. But in oceanography, the real ocean begins where the continental slope ends. That is the beginning of the ocean. Note down a few sentences on this also. The continental slope covers about 8.5% of the total area of the ocean. Stop. Its slope varies from 2 degree to 5 degree. One more point. Most of the continental slopes are characterized by submarine canyons or gorges. On the land you have the gorges in the Himalayas. There are many gorges. Chenab Gorge, Indus Gorge on the land. Same type of sharp, steep sided valleys are found on the continental slope also. And I think this much is sufficient. What is a submarine canyon? I will teach you after 1 or 2 days. That will be coming, maybe a short note on the submarine canyons. Next point. Abyssal plain. The abyssal plains begins where the continental slope ends. The bottom consists of basalt, denser material. Basalt or denser material. Normally, the average depth of abyssal plain is more than 3000 meters. Next, 3000 meters. There are wide abyssal plains in the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and Indian Ocean. Stop. In these plains, there may be isolated volcanic peaks. And gjords. Gyot actually is a feature like this. It may be a volcanic peak submerged under water. You know, you are familiar with this. This is a crater in the volcano. But there are some islands which are flat topped islands like this. Such islands which are actually at the top flat like a ridge, they are known as gyots. More details I will give later on. Because the top has been eroded by some agency, some marine, sea waves, etc. So they are flat from their top, and geographers call them as the gyots. There is a difference between volcano and a gyot. Now pass on to the last one. That is oceanic trenches. In each ocean, there are many oceanic trenches. They are the deepest point of the oceans, as given in the diagram. The oceanic trenches are generally arc shaped. Arcs, they are just like this one, and found on the convergent margins, and found along the convergent margins of plates. This topic will come in plate tectonics, because this plate is going this way, so they are pushed like an arc. The deepest, next sentence, the deepest oceanic trench is the Mariana Trench. With a depth of Mariana Trench with a depth of 11,022 meters. This is the deepest oceanic trench. It is to the east of Philippines. You see, this is more than 11 kilometers, you can say. This is the depth of this trench. The second deepest, note down, the second deepest oceanic trench is the Tonga Trench. In the South Pacific Ocean. With a depth of 10,000 882 meters. Stop. Among the other important oceanic trenches, among the other important oceanic trenches are Philippines Trench, Philippines, Japan Trench, Aleutian Trench, Sunda Trench, Puerto Rico Trench. Romancho Trench. And South Sandwich Trench. Still, if you have the time, and I know you will not be having the time, because if there is a short note of 150 words, you have already written more than 150 words. So try to control yourself. I can dictate you many more points, because in each ocean you will find oceanic ridges. In each ocean there are ridges underwater. In each ocean there are many islands. In each ocean there are oceanic rise, some light deposits. In each ocean there are coral formations. So you can extend in case it is required. But my experience shows this model, this question will be a short note. For a short note, this much of text is sufficient. Read this twice or thrice, and very easily you will be able to know what is to be written in the examination. But one problem is, in a geography optional paper, the examiner is supposed to expect you to give a world map also. And drawing the outline map of world is not easy for any person, even for a professor. But somehow you have to show North America, South America and Africa, etc. to have the relative position, giving the impression this is North America, this is South America. This is Africa and we are in Australia and etc. So one map is to be given if you want to secure 60% marks. By practice you can develop this. How to draw the outline map, I will tell you later on. Today is not the time to tell you how to draw the outline map of the world. Nobody can draw the outline map of the world perfectly, not possible. And let me tell you one thing here. All the maps which you are having in your atlas are wrong maps. There is not even a single map which is correct map. तो जिस सब्जेक्ट को पढ़ाई गलत टूल से जाता है, उस सब्जेक्ट का क्या होगा? All our maps are wrong. The true shape of the earth is globe. And globe is three-dimensional. Globe has three dimensions: length, breadth and depth. A three-dimensional thing cannot be converted into two dimensions. You know, you are scientists with a science background. If there is a three-dimensional figure like this, it cannot be correctly represented on two sheets, two dimensions like the atlas or this wall map. Either the shape will be distorted, or the area will be distorted, or the direction will be distorted. If you see your atlas, you have different types of maps. Sometimes the Greenland is too big, bigger than India. In reality, that is much smaller than India. So all our maps are wrong maps. क्या सब्जेक्ट है कि wrong tool से पढ़ाते हैं? But this is actually matter of convenience. If you want to make a globe at the scale of 1 inch is equal to 1 mile, then the radius will be about a kilometer, about a mile. One globe covering a radius of 1 mile, diameter will be double. So where to place this globe? And how to compare the lower area with the top area? There will be a need of ladders. Then geographers don't need only one globe. There are thematic maps. Some maps are showing the distribution of population, distribution of climatic regions, distribution of agricultural crops, industries, roads, transport. There are so many requirements. So the geographers agreed we have to convert this three-dimensional thing onto 2 dimensions with the help of some projections. That is not your course. So I am saying that actually drawing a correct map is not possible, but you should have to make some practice in which North America give the impression this is North America and this is South America, this is Africa. I will show you some transparencies out of which you may use any one of them. At least for a short note, one map to be given. And in the transparencies which I am carrying today are the continental shelf, which I described here, or the oceanic trenches, another. The third is showing the ocean basins, abyssal plains. These are the possibilities. So, what should be given as a documentation in this short note? This transparency shows you the continental shelf. This dark color, opposite to that light color, is the area of the continental shelf. So very easily you can demarcate the continental shelf. They are adjacent to the continents. Immediately where the coast ends is the beginning. But some areas it is narrow. In some areas it is very wide. Here you see the continental shelf is very narrow. But here you can put 1280. It is the widest. That will be additional information. There are some important oceanic trenches also. Actually all these are the abyssal plains, bigger plains, and these are the real oceans. In the oceanic trenches, in the same map, you can show a few important oceanic trenches. The Mariana Trench is the deepest. I have put the depth also here. You may write or may not write, but if you are showing it on a map, give the depth. Then the second Tonga is here. This is Japan Trench, Aleutian Trench, Remancho, Puerto Rico, and Sunda Trench is somewhere here. South Sandwich Trench is here. If you are not interested in showing the oceanic trenches, don't give all, give 2, 3 at least. The deepest and the second deepest, or the Mariana Trench and the Sandwich Trench. This is Tonga, Kermadec Tonga Trench. But one very interesting thing which you can do in the examination is, on continental shelf, most of the crude oil deposits and natural gas is found. I dictated you some percentage also. 20% of crude oil, 18% of natural gas is obtained from. And you know the area where they are found? Persian Gulf, the Gulf of Mexico, Bombay High. Demarcate and show these areas. The economic significance is enormous. If you are interested, you can show some important fishing grounds also of the world. The Dogger Bank, the Grand Bank, very important fishing grounds. So this way it will be a very interesting map. Should not be very complicated map, simple map showing some relevant things. And if you do this much with small text, I am sure you will be getting 60%, 6 out of 10 marks. आज की मुलाकात बस इतनी. ये पहला दिन है. पहले दिन में I don't want to overburden you. Tomorrow I will continue this topic. But before we disperse, please, any student who is a new student, came for the first time in this class and has some doubts or apprehensions, please state forward. You can raise your problem to the teacher and the teacher will try to pacify to you. कोई अगर doubt किसी को है तो वो पूछिए. I am saying my class notes are more important than the books and the notes which are available in the market. because these are almost model answers, which you can learn very easily without much efforts. Read it twice or thrice, you will have the idea what should be the structure of this short note. If you are not asking any question because you are new, some of you may be shy, you be bold to discuss your problem in the class. Because we invite the student to get their doubts cleared in the class, and in case you are not discussing your problem, you can meet me after the class also. I am available. Secondly, those who got admission, my request is please submit your passport size of photograph. I have been asked by the director that some students are still to submit a passport size of photograph, that is required. And today I stop here. Tomorrow I will continue the oceanography onwards. Thank you very much.